Castlevania. I'm told it is an homage to the brilliant horror monsters and cliches of before. However, I seem to have misplaced my instruction manual, and so I hope that this game can tell its story without the help of outside sources. Let us begin. The unholy union of Conan the Barbarian and Indiana Jones approaches the gates of a building 2 or 3 miles away from the eerie castle in question. We assume control of this strange, pimp-strutting man, coated in yellow body paint, as he marches awkwardly toward Castlevania. Look at that! Some coy devil has left our hero Valentine's. I was under the impression that Castlevania was a horror game. And here, there's a romantic angle. Delightful. The gala clearly is underway as we enter, as Tim Burton fanboys rush to acquire Simon's autograph. But Simon wants none of their codependency, and sends them packing with a firm swat. In the Morning Star, his lover left for him outside the castle. Simon proceeds past phantom jungle cats, whose primary weakness is the edge of the screen, and enters a cistern filled with failed mascots for Long John Silver's, furious that Simon has interrupted their synchronized swimming practice. A yellow jug nearby fills Simon with the invincible power of being white as we approach our first level boss. A titanic, narcissistic vampire bat who refuses even to look at Simon during the battle. The creature is so vain, it remains fixated on the camera, hoping to catch a glimpse of its own reflection. The bat bursts into 6 flickering flames, representing 1/111th of the number of the beast, as Simon collects one of its massive testicles as a trophy. The next stage begins, as Simon is driven to a righteous frenzy by the painfully red walls. Oh my god, who is the Count's designer? This leads us to believe that our hero also dabbles in interior design, and is horrified by the unnecessary color scheming of the castle. As Simon proceeds through the level, he is assaulted by waveform patterns in the shape of gorgon heads. As he has no face, and is unable to look them in the eye, he is immune to petrification, and dispatching them is as simple as God fucking damn it! Past the hazards of gorgon heads and more blind knights, we enter a massive kitchen, loaded down with industrial-sized meat tenderizers for the evening's banquet. Those chicken legs apparently won't cook themselves. It turns out Simon also likes it rough, as we stop for a moment to receive some BDSM massage from the tenderizers. Soon after, we reach our first humanoid party guest overseer, as the most out-of-place Greek statue in all history bursts to life, spilling snakes from its horrible scalp, until Simon confuses her with the 3-second setting on his stopwatch. Horrified that Simon can last but 3 seconds, the Gorgon freezes in place, and enters into some BDSM of its own, so that it can take something from this whole affair. Traversing the walls of the castle, Simon encounters the first of many party guests partaking in ecstasy. These little fellows simply cannot stop leaping around, smashing into Simon and making sweet love to the air and castle grounds simultaneously. Simon wants no part of their clingy nature, as he only has eyes for whomever is leaving Valentine's around the castle for him. our hero comes across a runway model whose addiction to diet pills has her careening from platform to platform, throwing away even her bones as she tries desperately to lose more weight. As we proceed through the level, we notice someone has left the tower light on, enticing Simon even more. Who could it be waiting for us? A fair maiden? Before we can find out for ourselves, Simon is assaulted by a pair of costumed Egyptologists intent on performing a striptease for him. Our hero whips out his trusty stopwatch and... what the fuck? These strippers have no fear of things ending in 3 seconds, so Simon clubs the shit out of them. Another bat testicle later, we proceed to the dark corridor of eternal mapping. In the darkness, Simon completely misses an open manhole cover, and plummets to his untimely death. Or not.
Perhaps this is why some anonymous paramour is leaving love notes for our hero. It appears he has no problem going down.
Here, in the castle's expensive koi pond, Simon takes some time to practice his diving skills. Afterward, our hero proceeds to the endless potato fields near the castle's rear entrance. It's interesting to note this stage is the only area in the game to reuse music from another level, perhaps to illustrate to the player the importance of recycling. It is our planet, after all. Here, Simon swears the ecstasy addicts from earlier are riding eagles, but we can chalk that up to his habit of eating contaminated chicken legs stuffed into walls. An unquestionable nod to the seminal Cask of Amontillado by Edgar Allan Poe. Simon's golden beauty causes Castlevania to pop a fire-breathing hard-on and... Hey, damn it! Moving on, our pain-loving hero encounters Frankenstein's monster and his pet gimp. This particular ex-addict is so hopped up on pills it is utterly indestructible, and so Simon takes it upon himself to smash the barely mobile and non-aggressive monster in the goddamn head. That'll teach him to sell ecstasy to small hairy children. Can I take a moment to talk about how brilliant the soundtrack is? Later Castlevania games tend to shoot either for creepy tunes, classical music, and/or heavy metal-inspired grooves. This game, on the other hand, features a soundtrack full of jazzy, lounge-worthy pieces I utterly adore.
Back to the story. Simon continues his new sub-quest of cracking drug addicts in the face with a goddamn morning star.
Simon proceeds through this stage, largely filled with party guests we've met before, along with Red Bones, who refuse to stay down without more and more punishment. And we are introduced to the castle's gardeners. Let us give them a little dose of Master's loving. Oh, so you're feeling rebellious, naughty boy. Master has plenty of tough love for you. Yes, you've been a bad boy, and my arm is about to fall off. Thank you. Above, we enter a gallery filled with modern art, including the seminal piece of coal under the bed at night, and Van Gogh's painting I never quite got around to starting. This room will test Simon to the end of his wits. Only the love of his admirer can help him power through this unstoppable... well, that went well. At the end of the hall, Simon is greeted in a brilliant cameo appearance by Skeletor from Masters of the Universe. I do love the word master. After having his ass thoroughly handed to him for a while, Christian Grey style, Simon proceeds to the final wing of the swingers' party at Castlevania. The final level of this game sees our hero fighting through an enormous-scale replica of his own pocket watch, the most expansive and labor-intensive love note his admirer ever could leave him. The gears and golden flaws symbolize the admirer's sentiment that no matter how short Simon's staying power, there will always be time for him. Our hero, energized by passion and salmonella from eating tainted meat, pushes through a final set of hallucinations to reach the tower, made entirely of mint chocolate ice cream and red velvet cake. After a final powder-phobic meltdown lasting several minutes, Simon learns the true identity of his secret beloved. It's a 14-foot flasher. The sheer heat from this man's exposed genitalia scorches Simon on impact. It was a trap! All along, Simon, the greatest fetishist in all the land, was duped with love notes and opaque references to drive-in movies. Also, this hulking man-beast could whip open his gaudy trench coat in our hero's face. After slapping the Flasher's comically undersized head from his body, we discover the true nature of the demonic force we face. Oh my god, it's so cute! Look at it twitch its little nose like a giant blue bunny! And look how badly it wants a cuddle! Why isn't there a plush of this man?
I demand a blue bunny dragon monster pillow pet!
And so we commit heinous animal abuse as a stark reminder to the player of the evils of the fur trade, and collect the last of the 6 bat testicles. 6 bat testicles. No wonder that guy was such a narcissist. As dawn breaks over the forest and the swinger's ball comes to an end, all of the damage Simon has done by breaking candles and braziers catches up to the old structure, and it collapses. Simon won't be missed in the world of wherever we are. After all, he was a brutish, jaundiced dominatrix who spent his days slapping bats and little people with a fucking morning star.
And that's Castlevania. One of the most difficult games of its era, but so worth it. The bare-bones story leaves players room to imagine, room to fear all of the terrors that are in this incredible castle, this mismatch of ideas from a time immemorial to a time recent, where all of the things that terrified us can be brought together in one nightmare, and then you can beat the shit out of it with a whip. Thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate your comments, I appreciate your insight. If you have anything to say, by all means. And with any luck, we won't see that particular character again. Have a lovely evening. Kisses.